July 26, 2022, the Inglewood Gateway project has officially been terminated as of July 6th. I don't think I did a video to say when I got the news that I got the contract, but I was ecstatic. I was super excited. I didn't feel like this was the opportunity of a lifetime, but I felt like dreams do come true when I got the job, right? Being that I grew up in Inglewood, and this was a project that I literally saw come up from the ground up, and I knew I had my eyes on it, that I was going to get it, right? And it feels good to know that I got it. A lot of things went wrong in this area. One, I'm still not incorporated. I wasn't incorporated in that time, and I knew that I needed to do that. My mind had been so wrapped around getting used to conditions and conditions and inclusions, or should I say exclusions, inclusions, and conditions, is basically where I've gotten to in my contracting game. So to kind of come off script and to just be more legit about how I feel and how I want this documentary or how this shadow to really go, I don't know who's gonna see it. I don't know who's gonna take it serious. I don't know who's gonna look and say, you know what, I wanna see this guy succeed. I wanna see this person really find success and really reach its full potential. But I know that I have that. I know that I still have so many different opportunities ahead of me that I don't want to turn my head away from because of my lack of knowledge on how to actually run a business. An associate of mine from the NAMAC Association gave me an opportunity to interview on her podcast this upcoming month. And she says, I'd like you to witness, I would like you to come and interview on my show. I want you to talk about road to recovery, speak to entrepreneurs about what it's like to never give up, what it's like to to thrive and to continue to drive, what drives you every day as an entrepreneur, and basically the benefits of everything that happens. Now, I know my answers now thinking about it versus the answers that I'm going to give during the interview are going to be totally different. But when I think about that answer and I think about all of my failures so far, as well as the failures to the successes in those steps that I've reached so far, it's like, man, I can't do nothing but thank myself for never giving up, and to know that I was always the type of person to say, there's no reason why I couldn't do this job. You know what I mean? I would literally work a job and walk into the room with people with the expectation that I can do the job, I can get the job, I can get the job done. If it weren't for politics, people being in your business about certain things and finances and shit like that, I would still be on the Inglewood Gateway job. And I feel like when it comes down to money being so problematic and so important in our lives, that we don't make enough, for one, and for two, when it comes down to money trickling down, when it's coming down from the bank, going down to the owners, going down to the contractors, down to the subcontractors, down to the employees. It would sound simple and make sense to me, being as someone that's not funded and have the working capital, to say, you know what, well, this is how things should be. I want to go on these revolutionary rants, but it's, that's not how the world works, and that's how it never worked. And in 2022 and beyond, it probably never will work like that. But the fact still remains is, internally, I know I made I succeeded. Spiritually, I know I succeeded. I was able to bring a team of almost 20 people onto this project this year. I've worked with almost 30 people in total so far in the first 7 months of this year. I counted as 6 months, 7 months, because I've been trying to get into a place where I can balance my life enough to focus more on what it is that I want to do, and not just NSU. NSU has taken a lot of toll out of me. It really has. And, backing away from it and building it is totally two different things. And I think in order to do either or the two, this is one question I need to ask myself. What is it that keeps me driving? What is it that makes it worth it? And what is it that I would tell the entrepreneur in me to do today to start tomorrow? And that's to get a business plan. That's to get funded. That's to get surrounded by the right people that's actually going to know and want to learn what it is that needs to be done to do these contractors. It's so hard, it's so easy for people to want to play perfect, right? It's so easy for people to think that they have all the answers, and it's so easy to want to be in the room with people who have the knowledge, but don't realize that they don't have all the answers. We all have a different level of expertise when it comes to certain things. So when it comes down to being in a room with people and you exchanging knowledge and transferring that knowledge and experience with each other, it's real easy to get, it's real easy to believe that you're not in the right place, or that you're not where you need to get what you're looking for, or maybe if you're more knowledgeable than that person, that they're no longer a benefit to you. I'm not really sure. My mentality has gone negative a little bit because I feel that out of everything that I've tried to do and I've spoke about making happen in this company, I'm still at the beginning stages. And I'm grateful for that because that means I still have a lot of work to do. But again, outside of my business plan being formed, outside of my business credit being formed, outside of my credit being increased, and finally taking those steps that should have been already addressed and accomplished before I took on to this project, it's just to never give up, right? But to make it work for me, because for the past 2 years, I've seen too many lives come into my hands, in the hands of my company, into the organization of my company, and they not leave as blessed as I am to be in it. And when people walk out the door of NSU with their heart broken and their head held low because they didn't get what I expected, what I was trying to give them, then that means that there's a step that I have to go even further to make sure that my words stay on the pedestal to bring people up and not just to be talking. You know what I mean? I don't talk down on nobody, but it's been hard. It's taking a toll in my work ethic, and my work ethic has changed a lot because my attitude for it. You know what I mean? My videos have changed. You don't need to come in here screaming. A lot of things have changed, although my energy and my excitement for what it is that I'm doing will never change. But I have a lot of backed up, commentary and energy and things like that because I haven't had a chance to really talk about it or to connect with people the way that I want to. This is a passion of mine. But what is the passion? The passion has never been cleaning. The passion was to do contracting, to get jobs, to get people in the positions that like to work, that like to take on positions, to know that they have stable income. And I can't offer that to them without stable funding. And that's the problem. I can get a contract, no problem. I can get you a year-long contract. I can work numbers. But the problem is that I've been doing that backwards, and I've been putting people in positions without the funding. So I can't put people in positions without stable, consistent currency. You know what I mean? So, skipping so far ahead of the plane is like, yo, I got all these plans, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then you got to remember that, a sandwich ain't a sandwich without something in between the bread, So, and I think that was the most devastating part. They're not devastating, but, as you guys know, I don't know if this was a conversation that I had with my audience, if this was something I said on my channel where I said, if I had to start off my business, I was small-minded. I've always been small-minded. Not always, but I was small-minded. When I listen to other people around me that are inspired to making millions and billions of dollars, to me, my mindset is small because I started off thinking 50,000, 100,000 a year. Okay, but if you look at my journals now, if you look at my affirmations now, I'm talking billions, I'm talking trillions, right? And I see it possible. These things are actually coming into my life where they're actually going to happen passively, where I don't have to work for it. So that's a beautiful thing. But then when I affirm those same things into my business, I realize that yes, these things will happen, but there's going to be a transformation that has to take place in my business. There has to be a transformation that takes place in these relationships. There has to be a dedication to the things that are going to happen. So I can't fish without bait, right? And as I'm spinning out my rod to the lakes, it's like, an empty promise. Well, I'll put it this way, another thing too. Nobody, and I mean even contractors, shouldn't have to wait 30 days to get their money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that cycle is or what it's about. Maybe it's my knowledge. Maybe it's my experience. Maybe I don't know nothing enough about 30-day nets. But at the end of the day, I think that if prevailing wage projects can make their people pay out their people in 30 or every single week, then the contractors should just as well be paid out every single week. I shouldn't have to wait 30 days until you finish paying your bills, and then I have to pay out my employees every single week when I haven't even been able to pay my bills. So that's just a perspective that's been very frustrating for me. If you guys don't know, if I didn't talk about it much, I got my first public works job this year, and that was a pain in the ass, but I got through it. I finished it. I accomplished it. I'm actually still waiting on my last payment for it. I'm very intelligent enough, and I'm strong-minded enough to handle public works processes, and their paperwork is minimal. The shit that people complain about in this industry, I just don't get it. And I think that I've gotten a double dose of understanding. I got a double dose of the exact reasons why I don't understand why people complain so much in this industry. I don't know if it's the assholes they're working with, or it's the personalities, if there's their cultural background. I don't know if it's the shady shit that they're doing in general that they know that they could override, or what it is. But construction cleaning, subcontracting, all of these things should be a very easy, simple process, whether you have funding or not. If I'm coming to work for you on your job, you should be able to pay me straight out. I should be able to pay my people. I have people to pay. I have bills to pay. So moving forward, as I was saying, we haven't been caught up. I haven't had a conversation with you. I've been more concerned on how do I talk to you than I have been what do I talk to you about. And that's honest to God truth, because from day one, I had never had a problem with telling you what was going wrong, from payroll to people walking off on me. There's still so many other stories that you haven't heard. But once again, I vow to try to be true. And my point is, moving forward, I'm making sure all my jobs pay out either upfront or within a week. And until then, I'm flipping all of my money, making sure any debts that NSU has gets taken care of before the end of the year. And I'm moving forward with all of my structural building. So we're going to make everything a process. I'm not going to talk too much more about it. I'm going to give you a day for day. I'm going to try to get tapped in with this because I love being able to document my stuff. I love being able to stream with it. So I doubt this will ever be like some old, entry thing. Well, I'm lying. One day it will be. But for the most part, it's still so much growth to me. And for each and every individual that stepped on foot to any of my projects this year, I'm very grateful that God set us in the same pathway. And every person that's going to come afterwards, I know that we've set up and we've became more like-minded and gotten to a position to do some great things. But I sound like I'm talking crazy, right? But yeah, real talk. This year was crazy. I've once again had to deal with loyalty. I've had to deal with miscommunication. I've had to deal with people thinking that I need to change how I talk to people when I'm a very clear individual. I think that my communication skills have been very clear. And I think at the end of the day, when it comes to having relationships, it is clarity. And at the end of the day, when it's not based upon money, but it's based upon passion, it makes a lot of a difference. I had some very great people on my team, but I would have never known that until I lost those people, because money was always a key component to our relationship. And if knowing that funding was going to be an issue to break those loyal relationships, then I probably would have never had a chance to get into the position for people like that to come into my life. If you look at some of the videos, first of all, I didn't even thank God for me being able to have this conversation, you know what I'm saying? Because there's so much detail and there's so much weight in, the things that we pray for and that we work for and that we manifest, that we write out, that we work hard for, that we go out and ask for. There's so much energy in that. So I definitely want to take a moment and thank God, the Most High, Yah, Yah, who is King and ruler of my life, head and not the tail, and the ruler of all things in my life, just for allowing me to be able to be here today in 2022 to say that I'm still here, I'm still alive, and that my eyes are open, and that I'm here to learn and actually take my experience, my knowledge, and my passion for creating jobs in the Los Angeles region and throughout Southern California, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada. I've done almost everything that I can possibly know to do with the experience and the network that I have. And I continue to move forward with that, and I thank God for that. And I thank God for every person that's been a part of that and has genuinely assisted me, whether it be on the back end just to make it happen, or that actually accepted and understood the vision, right? So, with that being said, it's time to really make this stuff happen. And I'm looking forward to it. I've connected with a beautiful soul, a couple of them, that's been just helping me, from lawyers to compliance officers to did I say attorneys, to people with bonding and contracting and contractors. I mean, this season that I'm actually in right now has given me enough to open my eyes and realize what it is that I have beside me, around me, that's assisted me, what I have to look forward to. So in the next couple of months to come, I know that my attention is going to be very, I'm going to have some withdrawals a little bit, because since I'm backing up from the business and I'm investing into the business, the build of it, the structure and the foundation of it has to be so much more critiqued on every move that I make. And now that I know that I'm actually putting more money into it versus more time, or should I say more effort, because before it was just cleaning, right? It was just hitting the ground and putting flyers out there. It was doing this and doing that. And now I'm in a position where I have to put money into this bad boy, right? I have to make sure that, as if I'm taking one hand, filling my hand up with money and putting that right into the other hand to make sure that it's going to be a well for me and for others, it's going to be a blessing. I want to make sure that it's a blessing all the way around. I didn't get into this industry to make money, but I knew it was money in this industry. And every year, it's always somebody saying, "Oh, you in post-construction cleaning, you making money." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm making money." Yeah, right? But if you don't know how to bid, if you don't know how to balance, if you don't know how to forecast, if you don't know how to separate looking at a woman who has 3 kids, no car, no home, that's coming to your job, going to every one of your locations, doing this, that, and the third, and you know that you want to offer her more money, and you do that, it's all about balance too. You know what I'm saying? My heart is too far in it at the time in my younger years, or should I say prior this year. There was a lot of decisions I was making not being firm with my rates for my workers. I wanted to give as much as I could. As long as I can contract, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get these people this money. I'm going to be a blessing to them because they're a blessing to my vision. It was a lot of things that just weren't business minded. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff, a lot of heartfelt moves that I was making. I took a lot of shit from a lot of people too, because that standard, that ground stand, that footing was not there, because we started off on different terms. And when you start on different terms, but then you switch that shift over into business, that has to be straight in the sand. That has to be concrete in order to move forward. So, I've had to turn my cheek and change my mind about people too, and change my mind about opportunities too, because I deserve to be in places that I want to be in. That's going to give me what it is that I need, so therefore that I can feed my own self, feed my own family, pay my own bills, and make sure that I'm paying, making sure that I'm paying the 20, 30, 50 people behind me, and more so moving forward. And that the programs that I'm building, that my mind doesn't have to run around wondering, how am I going to build OTI? How am I going to start these programs? Why am I not talking to this person that I know is a therapist that can start a mental health class, start a group session for support when I'm running into all of these situations? You know what I mean? So it's too much time in the day not to use my time today towards the things that I need to do. But back and forth, like I said, this isn't about Inglewood Gateway. This is about the overall heart and blood pumping through the veins of NSU and OTI. So, and AP&A, if you haven't heard that before. But this video is coming on to 20 minutes. I'm doing an OSHA certification right now for a drilling position that I was going to go into. I believe that this was going to help me not only with funding and making sure that those costs are covered, because I've did almost every type of fundraiser you could think of. I tried to raise money to get incorporated when I didn't have it, all kind of stuff. I just needed help. I needed help in so many different ways, and I'm still taking all the help I can when it comes to management, when it comes to mind training, mind thinking, and all kind of stuff. So if people thought I was an asshole before, they're going to really think I'm an asshole now, because I really don't want nothing that's not going to allow me to grow. That's not going to make me a better business person, and that's not going to allow me to see my dreams possible. I don't want to walk out of a room ever again and think I should have said something when I was in that room. I want to make sure that I'm completely filled with my ambition and my ability to ask the right questions and get the right answers I need to get my business to the next level, to reach my full potential, to make sure that I'm getting a check, that, you know, my programs are burst, you know. So with that said, all in 20 minutes, my name is Adriel Pittman, Different Taste of Soul, Audrey Emilian, all of these beautiful things. Some people know me as Suave, the artist, whatever. Owner of OTI, NSU, No Stone Unturned, post-construction cleaning services. We do residential, commercial, special events, and construction sites. I can be reached at 747-344-9524. I don't care if it's a consultation, if it's a job that you're looking forward to, if it's a conversation, if it's some type of network or resource that you're looking for. Please feel free, drop a comment below, reach out, text me, call me. Anything that falls on your heart, places on your heart, I would love to vibe, hear from you, hear more about you and more about what you're doing. And if I had to tell the entrepreneur in you something, I would tell you to start today. Work towards it every single day and always see the bigger picture. Never let that go, and always follow the people that you know you can listen to. You know, keep yourself surrounded. Always, you know, find something that you can listen to. Train your mind to always find the good, and always train your mind to grow every single day in some type of way. I love you. I mean that. I don't have to know you. I don't have to see you. But if you see this, just know that I mean it. Have a blessed one. I mean that. Over and out.